What's up, everybody? This is going to be another park maps video, hopefully on the shorter side. Today we're going to look at Canada's Wonderland, located in Vaughn, Ontario, Canada. And we've got some maps coming from 2011 through 2016 and then a 2019 one. And this is what I call my home Cedar Fair Park. It's 2-hour-ish drive, give or take, depending on the day. But I've been visiting since 2012, so we do have an extra one that I managed to acquire, but let's take a look and see how the park changed. Before I get super far into this, I do want to throw a shout out to a channel I watch. It's a video game channel. It's called Classic Gaming Quarterly. They do magazine read-throughs, so that's kind of what gave me the idea to do this with park maps. It's the same basic premise to a point. So let's start with this first one from 2011. And it's advertising the all-new Windseeker and Starlight Spectacular Night Show. The Windseekers opened at Kings Island, Wonderland, Cedar Point, and Knott's in 2011. And I want to say 2012, 2013, Carowinds, Kings Dominion got them shortly thereafter. But as you can see, they got a Snoopy rock show on ice, and another rock and roll show, the Connect X, which I believe still runs to this day, and the Peanuts show going on in one of the park's many kids areas. Showing the Extreme Skyflyer, some of the games, shops, which is kind of nice, and where to get some sweets and some treats. So try to make sure this is in a good spot. So one of the few little details that I think it's going to be neat to see, and it's the only one that's going to have it. It's got the old Wonderland entrance that was around from the Paramount days. Some other things are this side of the map's kind of you can actually find Dragon's Fire. Won't be seeing that too often. Something else might be there in a little bit of soon time. But if we go to this side of the park, you've got Behemoth still being the one and only star. Windseeker flying high up there above everything. But other than a lot of extra room here in this area. And yeah. Not too much. Coloring on this is a little bit darker. $2 off a pizza purchase. Always a good go-to when you're up there. Not a lot of craziness to talk about on this one, at least, but a few other things we will notice as we go on. But that is 2011, which is where it begins. Obviously, I did not go during that year. I did not really visit till the following year. I believe I got this map actually from my wife, but nice advertisement for Haunt and the nice skyline, if you will, background with Behemoth and Cyclone, and I'm gonna say it's Mindbuster, not Wild Beast, Flight Deck, Drop Tower, Wonder Mountain, and Dragon's Fire. I'm not quite sure where we're going, what they're trying to pull off on that one, but you know, these Cedar Fair ones. At one point, they went very generic. But on to the next year, which is the first year I visited. And advertising the new for 2012 Leviathan, the B&M Giga. The first B&M Giga, and Dinosaurs Alive, which made its way to several Cedar Fair properties that year during the 2012 season, including Cedar Point. And then on the inside, we have a Cirque show. Same shows from last year. Starlight's still running. And a new Peanuts show this year. More Dinosaurs Alive advertising for just $5. We also see Fast Lane for the first time, as this is the year Cedar Fair began to implement it across the board. It was still just Fast Lane. We will see a little bit here when Fastlane Plus comes into play. But again, some games, some stuff, and what I like to say is the best funnel cake in a theme park, Wonderland funnel cake. You can never go wrong with that. But zoom it back out. So now we have the dinosaurs alive. Stuff going on up in the Planet Snoopy area of the park. If you've never been, Wonderland actually has 2 kids areas. Planet Snoopy is this area in here, and they have another one, Kidsville, right in here. Whitewater Canyon's in here, which contains the park's water rides. International festivals here, International Street, and Medieval Fair with the big bad new ride, Leviathan. And then there's the Dragon's Fire kind of hidden underneath, as it will be for all eternity now. And then new entry look there. Not too much else going on at this end of the park. One thing I will point out is the stand-up coaster Skyrider tucked up here in the corner. And it's a spot where it existed from the 1980s till it would leave the park down the line. But yeah, still, this, you got to think, this was 2012. Cedar Fair really was going big with the bigger things at this point in time. You had Leviathan opening this year. That was the big baddie for the chain. And then next year you'd get Cedar Point getting the big one, and then Kings Island, and the Fury, and just the domino from there. And then in the back you've got the advertisement for Fast Lane. Wait less, ride more. And we'll zoom this in. You've got it on Backlot, Behemoth, Drop Tower, Flight Deck, Clockwork, Leviathan, Mindbuster, Nightmares, Orbiter, Cyclone, Shockwave, The Bat, Vortex, Wild Beast, and Windseeker. Worth a little bit of extra money every now and again. Wonderland always seems to be busy. 2013 is going to be kind of a boring map outside of this wonderful cover showing Leviathan front and center going down that 306-foot drop. A British show, a new show with Charlie Brown. The usual ones are still here. Starlight Spectacular has been updated with the fountain upgrades that got done to the 3 parks with the International Street fountains that year. Again, more advertisements like in previous ones, and then between 2013 and 2012, nothing really major got added. There was some holes in the back of Wonder Mountain, but other than that, it was a very quiet day here. Oh, it's down $3 off for pizza. But yeah, not a lot really happened this year. It's kind of the same map as 2012 rather. And yeah, not really a lot to say about this one. But the next one is where things really get cooking. Again, the back of this one, advertisement for Fastlane. And on to 2011, which I think was a good year. I actually also love this cover with the Dragon Claw and the tail and the advertising the new Wonder Mountains Guardian 4D interactive dark ride and coaster, according to our CDB, which is a personal favorite of mine. I actually think it was a great addition. I'm a little bummed they never went further with adding the amusement dark rides to the rest of the Cedar Fair parks, but you've got much of the same shows from last year and a new Dimensions Cirque show. But this is also going to be your, we got a much bigger advertisement for Dinosaurs Alive and telling you to get your souvenir cups, which I did have one of those at one point in time. Somewhere down the road traveled it went MIA, but yeah, for this year, we have a show, Lost World in the Action Theater. It's going to be the last time we're going to see Skyrider, as it would close in September of this year to make way for future improvements. And we have a giant Guardians logo saying where it is in the park. And that's really all they did with this one. It's kind of odd that they chose to do, I'm going to zoom in. Just because this is a good thing, interesting. So you've got Thunder Run actually going in the mountain in a hole. You've got Vortex going off the backside. But all they did was slap a logo on there. I mean, I guess it gets the point across, but like when you had that detail already, it's kind of like you guys got a little bit too lazy there. But, and I believe at this point we had Fast Lane and Fast Lane Plus. Yes, we did. As now saying, hey, you want to ride more? Because Guardian was on Plus for about the first week it was open before they went, yeah, there's no way we can do this from a capacity standpoint and loading. So that's 2014 for you. And then we got the 2015 park map. And this year they have the same Leviathan picture, but then they're advertising the new Typhoon Bowl Slide and promoting Wonder Mountain's Guardian still. Yeah, and here, actually, what's new this year? We've got, Slingshot, new upcharge attraction, the Splash Station Kids area in the water park, in Splashworks, and Typhoon. And then all the shows. They've changed the Starlight Spectacular logo, Snoopy's Daytime Fountain Show, Jungle Show, Dimensions, the Victoria Falls Divers, and the reason I brought up Guardian in the last one was because then the following year, they actually went through and put the, I don't know how well it's going to be shown, the sign, a train, 2 trains actually, on the track going through there. And then next to it, actually. Quickly, taking sideways. Since we're in a good zoom here. You've got Slingshot in that area. You've got dinosaurs now in the action theater, but then Typhoon's now tucked in here. And Splash Station. So the new water park editions tucked right in that corner, and then usual advertisements and stuff. Dinosaurs still kicking back here, but they won't be for long. And then obviously one more thing, can't forget that we got a giant empty spot of land here, and then a little ball of people floating up. So that is about it for this year. See, I wish I had a few other years of these maps, because then we'd show a few more interesting things, especially the years I don't have between 16 and 19. So 2017, 2018, because it shows where Frontier Canada started coming in. So, but here we have the 2016 one, and we have, now we're at the bottom of the drop on Leviathan with the picture, and we have Skyhawk and Flying Eagles, the new 2016 editions of the thing. All season photo pass, fun pics, which I do recommend. It's actually nice to have those park photos. And then if you think about it, if you get, let's use a ballpark, you get 3 coasters, maybe you take 1 photo op kind of thing when you get in the park, it pays for itself at that point if you get all the photos. Just think about it, it's like 20-25 bucks, at least last time I actually bought park photos. Showing the Vekoma SLC flight deck. And this was actually the year they really started doing a lot of these, like the festivals and events, and kind of taking on the Disney vibe with Bruin Barbecue, movie nights, a whole festival devoted to bacon, Canada Day, Kids Fest, Taste of Greece, Taste of Italy, the Food Truck Festival, and Oktoberfest. And then a couple of special limited engagement shows for the year. And then some of the usuals that stick on. And then this year they kind of did a few little updates here and there to the park, but not too much. We got a new movie in the action theater. We have, I swear the coloring got better on these over the years. I'm going to zoom in. I'm trying to not get too much of the reflection on these. Flying Eagles added into kids and then right next door you have Skyhawk. Skyhawk's fun, and it's actually not that hard when you get the hang of it on figuring out how to flip. I think it took me half a cycle and I figured it out. Funny enough, once I figured it out, I accidentally shattered my wife's glasses in my pocket when I just kept barrel rolling the whole cycle. Thankfully, really good staff here at Wonderland. They managed to find me some tape and make it work for the rest of the day. But note to self, make sure I have a hard case with them. But again, not too many other changes going on. The next one we're going to see the most changes because it is my most recent one, which is going to be the 2019 one, which was my last visit. This was the last year I had a platinum pass. From 2012 to 2016, I was getting platinum. So at that point, get to Wonderland twice, get a weekend trip to Cedar Point, pass paid for itself for me. So it made sense. And then you've got the advertisements for Haunt and Camp Spooky. And then last but certainly not least, Yukon Striker for 2019. And a nice digital rendition there. Some new shows throughout. Actually, a lot of new shows this year. Well, that was around. We have this Snoopy's Dog Days, a block party, a different Cirque show. And then, trying to promote those gold passes because, now we've got Winterfest, which I actually was trying to get to this year, that year that it happened, and it did not. Some things came up the weekend we were supposed to do it. And then Haunt. I really am glad that they did try to do this. I do eventually want to check it out. It does look cool. I like that a lot of these parks are now trying to do something, at least with Christmas time and the holiday season. But all right, so 2019, we've got a lot. First of all, you can tell they cleaned it up by getting rid of lots of the little dots and stuff for the food. So it's really just the rides they're showing off. Let me zoom in and just kind of push the map around where need be. Make it a little easier because I think this is going to be the one we talked. So let's start front gate. We now have in color the Wonderland logo. I can actually find Dragon's Fire now hiding under Leviathan still. A lot of the rides renaming to their original names. Wheeled Beast, Nightmares, things of that nature. The dinosaurs are extinct again. And then, Soaring Timbers being in here. And Lumberjack and the Flying Canoes, bringing the whole Frontier Canada together along with Yukon. They even got the little tunnel in there. If I'm correct, somewhere in this vicinity is where the new lodge restaurant, I can't for the life of me think of the name off the top of my head. But is in this general area, if I'm correct. Guardians here, you still do have what looks like at least one train on there. Skyhawk and Windseeker have been shrunk down instead of looking like they're soaring in the skyline. Leviathan still looks like it's a tall boy, but even Yukon looks a little tinier. And then you've got the new Muskoka Plunge in there. If I'm right, the Mountain Bay Cliffs that got put in this general area. But even Behemoth shrunk down. Like, it's not overpowering. And then they also kind of rezoned in the Grand World Exposition of 1890 and separated Action Zone from it, which I thought was kind of neat. Slingshot looks like it's just a little kid-sized slingshot thing. But other than that, not too much. I mean, a lot changes in between these years that obviously I don't have, but it is what it is, I guess, at that point. A lot of people do like to say a lot of things about this Parks Coaster collection, which I will say it's not the greatest, but it does have a decent collection over the years. Outside of these two that maybe one day they won't these will be gone. I can live with a couple of crazy woodies. And the family-sized ones are decent, but it does... You got 1, you got 2, you got 3, you got 4. I put that as a solid 5. I throw back a lot as another solid 6, so... It's got at least 6 really decent coasters. In my opinion, of course. I'm sure eventually I will get a full video of it, but I wanted to finally bring Wonderland to the table. And then you got the operating calendar on the back. And that's going to do it for the main squeeze maps. We're looking at like 20 minutes already on this, so I won't bore too much more, but I'll throw a bonus in here. I've got a 2014 Haunt guide, so like I did in the last one, I'll throw a bonus. This is the only time I went for Haunt. It was the Year Guardian Open, so it had the other version of it with the zombies. So actually, that was pretty neat. The rules and regulations, showing off the different scare zones, the ruins, sci-fi, Louisiana Scream. We didn't really actually get to go through any of these. I think the only one we went through was Cornstalker, honestly. Obviously, the scare zones. Frightling being advertised. And then small map showing where the haunted attractions are, and then zombies, interactive dark ride, and where the blacked off walkways are. Blacked off walkways, it should be. They actually call it dead ends too. Very fitting. But eventually, maybe one day I'll get back up there for a Haunt, but I don't know. It's because it was this was actually a separate ticket thing. I had to buy a separate one for it. Kind of wasn't worth it. Well, for what we did. For me, trying to get a bunch of night rides, but it's gonna kind of do it. I got a couple other like event guides, but they're not really worth going into, at least not today. But so that is a brief but interesting nonetheless Wonderland park maps, which hopefully down the line there'll be a few more in this thing, but we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't get why people try to hate on this park. I think it's a great one. It's definitely gotten some better additions over the years, but I mean, it also is the most visited theme park in North America, seasonal, or one of the top ones, and second most coasters in the world, which I'm sure its sibling in Ohio wants that record back, but see what happens. But it's just to look at some park maps of Canada's Wonderland, and thank you guys for making it through this one, and we'll see you in the parks.